Right, hello and good morning to you. Welcome. Andy here. And this story continues on with the whole banking thing that we've mentioned before regarding benefits, and the DWP trying to snoop on your money that's going out and knowing exactly what you spend your money on, which for most people is not difficult to justify. And there will be people saying, well, if you've got nothing to hide, blah blah blah. And that's not the point. The point is that they are, according to this article, trying to quietly bring in things behind the scenes. I think it's pretty bad when they're trying to do it in behind your back, trying to get a private company in order to connect it to your bank accounts to find out what you spend your money on. And obviously there is a risk because they're using AI. AI is not perfect. It does actually can flag things that it shouldn't flag, and that will affect people in the real world. So it's not about some person sitting there with the computer going through going, oh, that one there looks a bit suspicious. It's actually not even a human being. Now, this article was in the Canary, so let's go and have a look at that right now.
The DWP is quietly trying to get a private company to connect it to disabled people's bank accounts. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has launched a program to integrate open banking technology into the universal credit system. It is a move that on the surface promises to modernize and streamline benefits administration. However, this initiative may grant the DWP extensive powers to scrutinize claimants' private financial data. These are powers that many fear will exacerbate an already intrusive and punitive welfare system. The DWP, looking at every purchase a claimant makes. Universal Credit currently supports some 7.5 million claimants. Many of them depend on prompt and empathetic administration to cover essential living costs. The DWP's new strategy aims to replace manual evidence checks, such as paper bank statements, with a digital model. This is where claimants consent to share banking data via Open Banking Application Programming Interfaces, APIs. The DWP frames this as a step towards efficiency and reduced bureaucracy. However, it underplays the degree to which such access amounts to state surveillance of claimants' personal financial lives. This is going further than previous announcements around DWP inspectors being able to demand banks hand over claimants' data. Open banking technology was originally designed as a tool to empower consumers to share financial data with third-party providers under strict controls. Yet, when reproposed by a government department with powers over Social Security eligibility and payments, it raises red flags about privacy, consent, and potential misuse of highly sensitive data. The DWP is effectively legislating to harness open banking APIs to peer inside every transaction a claimant makes. This is a level of intrusion unprecedented in the welfare state. This invasive approach aligns with broader trends within the DWP towards increased data gathering and automated decision-making, often justified as measures to combat fraud and error, which reportedly cost the welfare system £8 billion annually. Unfettered access to bank accounts. The DWP has invested more than £70 million in artificial intelligence, AI, systems intended to scrutinize claims and flag suspicious activity. Yet AI's blunt instruments generate unfair suspicions, freeze payments unjustly, and deepen the stigma faced by vulnerable individuals. The department's recent halt to routine suspensions of universal credit claims flagged by AI in January 2024 highlights the flawed nature of technology-first approaches. It partly acknowledges that human judgment and compassion must temper automated systems. However, embedding open banking within universal credit threatens to intensify the surveillance welfare state rather than dismantle it. Despite the government's aspirations to enhance transparency and claimant engagement, the tender documents reveal alarming gaps in how data access, use, and safeguards will be communicated. Without robust transparency, claimants may neither fully understand nor trust how their financial information is being accessed and analyzed. The risk of data misuse, breaches, or wrongful exclusions remains high unless the DWP commits to not only technical safeguards but also clear accountability and independent oversight. Furthermore, the DWP's open banking plans come amid contentious debates over proposed reductions in universal credit payment rates. Many recipients already experience deep financial insecurity. The prospect of further scrutiny into their bank accounts risks escalating stress, anxiety, and mistrust, reinforcing a welfare system that too often punishes rather than supports. DWP snooping, beyond the pale. The DWP positions open banking as a leap forward in digital government. However, it is far from this. Modernization should not be equated with mass data collection or expanded surveillance powers. The government must ensure that claimant voices are not sidelined in technology procurement and rollout. Real reform demands genuine consultation, safeguards against discrimination, and transparency that empowers claimants, not just expedites bureaucratic processes. Overall, the DWP's drive to adopt open banking in universal credit risks entrenching a model of hyper-surveillance and automated scrutiny at the expense of privacy and social justice. Claimants deserve an accountable, respectful welfare system that sees them as partners, not subjects to be monitored. Without strong safeguards, this technological intervention threatens to deepen barriers. It will alienate vulnerable people, and it will compromise the very support DWP Universal Credit is meant to provide.
There you go. I hope that was interesting for you. Obviously, the DWP don't do things by half. They do it 100% and behind the scenes, as it were. Now, there's obviously nothing to say that this is going to happen, but generally, everything the DWP announced probably going to happen at some point, especially with the idea that they are already asking people what their money is for. So they go through their bank statement, they provide, and you have to provide it according to the regulations. You sign the agreement, will do what they say. So they ask for a bank statement, and then they will go through it one by one. What's this for? What's that for? To be perfectly blunt, it's none of their effing business, but unfortunately they've got you because you signed an agreement. Anyway, have a good day. Hope that was useful for you, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Are you looking for a new phone provider? I am, and I found one. I was with O2 for many, many years. However, Lebara offered me the same and better service for half the price. So currently I'm paying £22 for unlimited data and calls, and I also get 100 minutes of international calls, which is quite useful because I can phone my wife in Thailand. They also do a data package, so if you're travelling you can buy a data add-on and it will give you 30 days of data for around about £15, which I think is marvellous, and it's a lot cheaper than I was paying before, and I'm very happy. If you want to get Lebara, click the link down below, and of course you'll get the benefit of it. So have a good day, and back to the video.